Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Mikey Spilatro, and this is my review of From Vegas to Macau 2. From Vegas to Macau was one of 2014's bigger Chinese New Year movies, because it heralded the return of Chow Yun-fat to the Hong Kong gambling movie. He wasn't reprising the God of Gamblers role, but the film certainly referenced and played with that iconic character. Well, the sequel is also being released at Chinese New Year, and it has an even bigger budget than last year. I think it's very important to say right up front, From Vegas to Macau 2 is very much a Chinese New Year movie, and I need to say that because it affects not just the movie, but the way in which we might want to interpret the movie. Chinese New Year movies are a lot more about cameos, comedy, family, and silliness than about drama, narrative, or pathos. From Vegas to Macau 2 adds in a lot of action, special effects, and interesting locations. The opening credits make a nod to James Bond films, and they make it clear right away that significant money was spent making this film. The story moves from Hong Kong to Thailand to Macau, with filming in all three locations. The plot involves the continuing efforts of law enforcement to stop a criminal organization with the help of Chow Yun-fat's character Ken, a master gambler. To be honest, he's actually a master cheater. He always seems to have some kind of trick or gadget that lets him win. But so what? In the movie, the good guys pursue the bad guys. That's not much of a synopsis to give you, I admit, but let's be honest. The story is the least important thing in this movie. And I don't mean that in a bad way. The story is simply a means for the film to move from set piece to set piece, setting up the different scenes that happen. From Vegas to Macau 2 opens with a meeting on a luxury yacht, and features cameos from Wong Jing, Nat Chan, and Eric Tsang playing mahjong. When the story moves to Thailand, the action kicks in with two different scenes featuring a lot of gunfire, explosions, and CGI blood squibs. Thailand is also the setting of a parody of, or homage to, Unbeatable. But this time, Nick Cheung plays the corner man, and Chow Yun-fat puts on the gloves. Along the way, we also visit Ken's super high-tech mansion, home not only to Ken and his daughter, but a robot butler that speaks in the Chow dialect. This is one of those times I can fully concede that my lack of language skill means that I don't understand part of the movie. I know it's supposed to be funny when Chow Yun-fat and the robot speak in the Chow dialect, but because I don't understand it, I don't understand why it's funny. But I know it's funny because everyone else in the cinema seemed to be laughing. Then again, I may have been the only person in the cinema to have picked up on the Woody Allen homage that Nick Cheung performs. Speaking of Nick Cheung, his interactions with that robot butler were the source of probably my biggest laugh of the film. And there is a lot to laugh at in this movie. I don't know why there's such a thing as a syringe marked obtuse muscle injection, or why it would be found in an armory with a bunch of assault rifle ammunition, but I know that it gets used later in the movie. One thing I really enjoyed about From Vegas to Macau 2 was seeing a lot of old and new faces on screen. Connie Ben Hoiling and Hazel Tong play Interpol agents, and for both of them it may be their most undercover roles yet. Neither wears a bikini or anything else even vaguely revealing. However, in a cameo, Natalie Mengyao makes the most of what God gave her to make a joke. Kenny Wong and Derek Tsang also play Interpol agents, and Philip Kung Homan plays a gambler. None of them reveals much either, and thank God for that. Shawn Yu takes over the Nicolas Che spot, though Nick Chung Ka-fai ends up with a lot more screen time. It was nice to see Carina Lau on the big screen again, and her scenes with Chow Yun-fat were a lot of fun to watch. My favorite cameo will remain a surprise, because I would rather that you see it in the film and learn about it that way. It's probably my favorite part of the movie. From Vegas to Macau 2 is a great Chinese New Year movie, even if it's not a great story. But it's not really supposed to be one. It's supposed to entertain people during the biggest holiday in Chinese culture in ways that the Hong Kong audience has come to expect and even demand. So if you watch this movie, it would be wrong to expect it to be something that it's not designed or intended to be. But if you like Chinese New Year movies, I think you'll really enjoy From Vegas to Macau 2. I know I did. I should also be honest, I'm in this movie, but literally for less than a second. I play a soldier, and unless you know exactly where and when to look, you'll never see me. I'm doing a video about the experience, though, because it was a lot of fun, and I even got to be in a trailer. and I got to be in a Chinese New Year movie. Speaking of which,
恭喜發財!
I think you should watch From Vegas to Macau 2. I think you should go see it in the cinema during Chinese New Year because that's the best time and the best way to see it. It's an awful lot of fun, and if you go into it with that mindset, I think you'll enjoy it. If you think it's going to be a great action movie, you're probably going to be disappointed. If you don't get a chance to watch it in cinema, wait until it's available for rental or purchase. Don't watch this movie illegally. When it's released to home video, I'll update the description with links where you could buy it. That's what I want you to do. If you enjoyed this review, please let me know. If you didn't, let me know. If you enjoyed the reviews, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching.